Hey everyone, I wanted to record this response to everyone to a question which was, hey, for the past 3 weeks, I'm following my regular marketing schedule, but I'm not seeing daily leads. Am I doing something wrong? Let me know. And this is probably going to be a question that a lot of you have if you're looking for daily leads. So there's a few things that I want to clear up. First, I want to make sure that we're, again, all on the same page about what I mean by daily leads. And then I want to show you what I'm doing and kind of set expectations, proper expectations for how daily leads are going to look and how they should be building up naturally so that you all keep going. So the first thing is daily leads. What are we counting as leads? Leads are not just people filling out your contact form to book a consultation call. So please don't count that as your only thing for leads. And the only thing for leads also aren't people DMing you asking questions. Those are two great leads as well, but those are not the only indicators of leads. We're also not just counting applications, discovery calls, forms completed, because in that case, we would all be sad not getting leads. Leads are also people adding to your email list, as well as people visiting the sales pages for the things that you're selling. So your shop where you're selling things going to specific product pages, your services going to your services pages, because those are people who are specifically interested in those things. If you are counting all those things and looking at all those things and tracking those things, and you're still not getting at least one person to one of those things daily, then yes, we have a problem. But I doubt that that's the case. I'm going to assume that it could be, though, so I can show you what to be looking for. But if you're not getting someone to one of those things every single day, then yes, we have a marketing issue. And let's talk about that. Your content should not just be social media. If it is just social media and in those 3 days, 2 days in the week that you're marketing, it's only social media, then yes, you're going to struggle unless you have a really good following to get daily leads just from that until you've been doing that for a long time. But even then, it's still going to be kind of a struggle depending on the type of post that you're doing. So that's the first thing is remember, I don't teach just social media. I teach diversifying your marketing. So if your weekly marketing doesn't also include email marketing, then you are missing out on one of your avenues to get people to become leads every single day. The second other place outside of social media that I'm expecting, not for you to post something new every single week, but for there to be something existing, is long form content on a platform that is searchable without someone having to be a subscriber or follower of yours, which means it would have to be a blog, it would have to be a podcast, or it would have to be like a YouTube channel, or it has to end up being something that sits on your website, or it has to be a YouTube video, or it has to be your podcast. If you don't have one of those three things that exists in a month, that's getting something every single month, again, we're missing an avenue that's giving you your well-rounded marketing that I am teaching inside of Revolutionary Society. For you to have daily leads, this is a requirement. So those are the three things that I want to make sure that you have the building blocks. If we have those building blocks and we're still not getting daily leads, then again, my second question is, are you looking properly? So let's look at what you should be looking at. So first, you need to be checking your website analytics to confirm, are you getting daily leads? I went to when I wasn't marketing regularly because obviously I'm launching right now. So I'm marketing a little bit more regularly than I normally would. So I went back to December 29th through January the 6th because leading up to my birthday, I wasn't marketing and I didn't really start marketing until probably January 2nd, 3rd. So I pulled that week to kind of give you guys perspective on what I'm looking at. Remember, I said just to your sales page, not your home page, because everyone's going to kind of land on your home page. That doesn't count. Just the sales pages for your services or something that you're selling, or even your landing pages for your lead magnet is a good indication of a daily lead. But we're looking specifically and only for those things, that people have interest in one of those things. So when I look at mine, here is my lead magnet, one of mine. Adapt and amplify your private podcast. This is a private podcast that I had that was a lead magnet. I did have something that I was a part of, so it was sending people. Again, this is something that I do for visibility that's helping me to get daily leads. that I don't physically have to do, but it still counts for daily leads. So that's a cheat. I'm not even going to count this, but there was 30 people in December, between December the 9th and December the 6th, that went just to that page. That's just in that window. Skip her marketing coach because that's my home page. Skip the, so 36 people ended up getting to the thank you page in that time. But again, I'm not even going to count that. I just care about people who even just made it to that page. Revolutionary Society is the sales page for Revolutionary Society. 50 people made it to that page in that window of time. Now, granted, I would have to pull December 29th separately, and then December 30th, and then December 31st to confirm whether it was a daily lead or was it only on December 29th. I got 5, and then no people came on the 30th, and then, but you can kind of see if we average it out, I'm definitely getting a daily lead. Skip my about page because that's not a sales page. The anti-launch lead generating system microclass, that microclass wasn't even live until I believe maybe even the 3rd or 4th. So the fact that 68 people saw it in that time frame, that's huge. That's from me sending an email. I can guarantee that because I didn't start promoting it on social until after that. And then the lead overflow challenge is something that I'm selling, 27 people. So already just from my website, even if I just counted things that I was selling, Revolutionary Society had 50, lead overflow challenge had 27. That's 77 people who just made it to my website. Those are daily leads. And that's from, I don't even really mention the Revolutionary Society sales page very often. So that's just people visiting that page just because of me even existing online. This is momentum. This isn't daily posting. Daily posting alone isn't going to get you daily leads, because that would be ridiculous, because then that means you have to post daily, and that's not what we're doing. We need momentum. I'm not mentioning Revolutionary Society every single day for that many people to go to that page. You get what I'm saying? And if we look, I'm also not mentioning it every single day. So let's get even more granular. Let's go to just that one day. Just in that one day, December the 29th, 2 people went to that page alone. 2 people went to that page, 10 people went to the private podcast. So then that starts to kind of narrow down. If we just went to the 30th only, let's do just the 30th for the whole thing through the 30th. 8 people went to that lead magnet page. 2 people went to, notice nobody went to my membership page, but 2 people looked at lead overflow challenge. So you see it does change my numbers. So every single day, people aren't looking at every single thing. But again, every day, people are looking at things. On my birthday, I did promote about a sale. So let's skip that day. But I did send an email. I sent one email. I didn't promote that sale on social media. This was just from an email. Let's see what that did for my business. A Damplin Amplify was still getting stuff. 10 people, 4 people looked at Revolutionary Society. 3 people looked at the challenge. 4 people looked at my content clarity scan. So now that's still adding things to people looking at stuff that I care about. Every single day, I am getting people to stuff. But every day, I wasn't sending emails. So now let's look at content to compare. On December 31st, I sent a shop email just saying, hey, I'm having a sale to my shop. I wasn't even promoting my website. I wasn't sending people to my website. I was actually just sending them, if we look at the campaign, just to show you all what I'm doing. I was just sending people to my booked and banked shop. I wasn't sending them to Revolutionary Society or my website. On my birthday, if we go to my social media, if we look at Instagram, I didn't post anything on my feed then. So we look at December 16th was on my feed, the 18th, 19th, and then 7 days ago. I wasn't even posting on my feed since the 19th. So that's my main platform, is Instagram. I wasn't posting on my feed. If we go to Threads, which is my other main platform, if we look at the 29th, there was nothing on the 29th, nothing on the 30th, nothing on the 31st, which was 3 days, nothing. But there were still people visiting my website, and I wasn't doing anything, and I sent one email in that time. I'm showing this to prove to you that I'm not sending emails or doing any of that stuff every single day. Do I post the stories? Yes. But I'll prove to you that I really wasn't posting anything to stories to make people go and look at that stuff hardcore. Remember on the 30th, we met in Revolutionary Society and I talked about it on stories, but that's it. That would strike up the curiosity for people to go look. But them going to the challenge, I'm not talking about the challenge at all. People are going and looking at that because of how my website is set up. I want you all to know this Inception concept, if you haven't gone to opening tracks and you haven't even made it past if you're not in your first 30 days part of your training, if you haven't completed your first set of stuff, you're missing out on some extra stuff that I'm talking about. But I talk about this concept of creating Inception with your marketing, and it works because of what I'm showing you here. When you go to my Revolutionary Society website, the challenge, free training, that's the only stuff that you see here. And when you're looking at my site, this is the only stuff that you can see. And look, this challenge thing, it's like there's a countdown for it. You can go to look at my free training. There's only a few things that you can look at on my site. But even if you go to my main Her Marketing Coach website, the challenge is one of the first things that you can find when you go to my homepage. If you go to my Booked and Banked shop, the challenge, there's a countdown timer saying the challenge exists. So I'm constantly promoting this challenge everywhere, even though I'm not talking about it. If you go to my Instagram account, there's only a few links. One of my 3 links is to my challenge. So you are constantly being shown this challenge despite the fact that I'm not actively talking about it, because you cannot expect to be on all the time actively marketing things. So is all of your platforms set up to market and cycle people through for you? Because mine are. I think that there's a pop-up on my website right now, usually around the time when I have the challenge, I'll have a pop-up that says join the challenge. And I change my pop-up based on what's going on, and I'll cut it off when it's over. So I'll change my pop-up to be on my main website and everything to be my challenge so that people will go to the challenge. Those are strategies. And when it's not that pop-up, the other pop-up on Her Marketing Coach, if we go to it, I'm just showing you guys a bunch of stuff. If I go to hermarketingcoach.com, we got to let it wait for 20 seconds. But the pop-up's going to be my newsletter. I have these things strategically done to get leads. But if you scroll just a little bit on my homepage, there is a thing to get on my newsletter, because I'm constantly trying to get leads. If you go to the footer of my website, it's the newsletter. I'm asking you to get on this newsletter list regardless. If you sit on my website long enough and just scroll, eventually the pop-up's going to come up and be like, get on this newsletter list. Get this high ticket scoop. And look at how good it looks. It's engaging. A newsletter that's really giving masterclass. I make my copy interesting. I don't just say, get the latest news for my business. It's, look, this is really giving masterclass. I'm giving you actionable marketing and content strategies for high ticket. I'm saying who it's for. It's your weekly nudge towards seamless marketing and flexibility in business. Like, I'm making sure that they kind of want to get it. Even on my homepage, it's like, damn, this newsletter is killing it. This is a whole mini class. I make it so that it's not just a boring get on my newsletter list. I make it so that people almost have FOMO and want to get on my newsletter list. You know what I'm saying? I make it so that there are countdowns so that people are like, oh, what's that? I make it so that my headers are like, join this or do this. My header is join the challenge. It's very actionable almost right away when you get to my websites, so that there aren't very many choices of what to do on purpose. These interconnectivity things is why I have daily leads. And if we look at my daily leads, again, to prove my point, go back to those dates. December the 29th, newsletter. I don't promote the newsletter all the time. Danielle got on the private podcast, so that she naturally would have gotten on the newsletter list. Private podcast. You know that I was a part of a promotion for that. Private podcast. So I'm also growing my email list. So not only did we confirm that I was getting daily leads going to my sales pages for services and things that I'm selling in my main lead magnets, but we also can confirm I was also adding people to my email list. Private podcast. Nothing on the first, so we can see I didn't get anyone on my email list on the first, but on the second, private podcast. On the third, newsletter. That would have been from probably the pop-up or one of the millions of forums that I have. I don't really talk about my newsletter. The fourth, the anti-launch masterclass. So you can tell that that must have been the day that I sent an email about it. Anti-launch masterclass. This is a different person, so that means that they got the newsletter. Look at that. So that's a newsletter person, probably from the pop-up. Those are just random people. Masterclass. But look, I've been getting masterclass people and newsletter people every single day. This is just from me talking about it, sending emails. I wasn't doing anything in my feed on Instagram. As you can see, I didn't do anything until 7 days ago, which would have been like the 7th of January. So I wasn't doing anything on my feed, which is bad, but I wasn't. And it doesn't matter because I'm still getting daily leads. And I know that. I don't panic about my feed, even though this is my main marketing channel, because I know also my followers have been growing. I started this year off we can go and confirm where I started this year off because I track all my stuff. And I'm proving this stuff to you for a reason, to show y'all that you have to also track this stuff. Let's go and look at mine real quick about these daily leads, because I'm tracking it wherever we're supposed to be tracking it. Let's see where I was. Let's go to 2024 and let's go to December. Instagram was at 8,002. I had 8,002, and right now I'm at 8,026. I've been seeing my followers increase over the last couple of days. I'm showing you this because daily leads isn't just, let me make myself bigger. Daily leads isn't just from you posting physical content. It's not just social media. It's email marketing. You see that I've sent an email in that time. Let me show you how many emails I sent in that time. In that time frame that we're looking at, I sent that one birthday sale email, and then I sent, this was for the Lead Overflow Challenge. People said it doesn't even count. Podcast moved. So I only sent 2 emails in that time. One was about a sale, and one was my newsletter. That was it. And that newsletter one is the first time. So those anti-launch lead generating system, those people who got on my list for that lead magnet was just from Threads. That's just me posting on Threads. Threads I kind of post on every single weekday, just so y'all know. Like, if we look at my Threads account, but even in there still was a couple of days that I didn't post. I post multiple on the same day. So like, this is the first. Those were all the first. Then I didn't post again until the 5th. And then I post on stories. I'm not very consistently posting on social media all the time, which means I'm not relying on it. I'm showing y'all that I'm not relying on social media because I think that that's the assumption. It's like, well, duh, you post every day. I don't really post in the places that are long term. I post on like stories and Threads. And even then, you see I'm not posting every single day. You don't have to post every single day. What I want you to do is to keep going, because as you slowly start posting whatever your social media schedule is and your email schedule is, those 2 things will start to build momentum, but you need the other stuff to help you. We need Inception. So your website, we need a pop-up. We're going to build those things. So remember, this first 4 weeks, you said you've been doing this for 3 weeks, but let's keep it up for January, because we're all doing this for January. Keep this up because you just started. You had no momentum. We're building up momentum. After January, we're going to see if I just posted 2 times a week on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever your social platform is. If I just posted 2 times a week there and only sent 1 email, what is my daily lead looking like? And based on what that number is and where those people are coming from, we're going to fix the gaps. We're going to, in the second month, fix some of the things that we can automate. The pop-ups, the forms, your website SEO. Remember, that's month 2. You're overdoing it if you're trying to get all of these things to be fixed at once. Me showing you what's possible is just me showing you what's possible, because that's my job. But at the end of the day, remember, all of those things work together. I'm showing you what we're building. In your 90 days, you're going to have all this stuff built, so that you can be like me. I'm not pressed about social media or my feed or anything, because I know I'm going to get a daily lead. Now, if they're converting or not, that's a whole other story. But that's something that I can fix. I just need the leads. I need people to sell to. We just need people to sell to, and then we can work on our sales strategies.